Hello and welcome to my review of Lhykhis or Lhykhis for Aeldari for Warhammer 40,000 from Games Workshop. Now Lhykhis will cost you £28 and she is, I say, our first Warp Spider Phoenix Lord in plastic. She consists of 20 plastic components and a 40mm round base. What you see is what you get with her. She is a single mini in one pose. You don't get any options like the other Phoenix Lords, really. One of my favourite Phoenix Lords now, and I'm not just saying that because she's new. I still think that Fugan is my favourite, just his pose and, you know, his aesthetics and what's going on with him. But Lhykhis is a close second. Morgan Ra is cool. I've always liked Morgan Ra, but just something about that pose is a bit odd to me. I've yet to pass judgment on Baharoth. Baharoth is still on its way. So the format of this review is as normal. I'll have a look at Lhykhis up close, look at all of her detail, how easy, difficult she was to build. There's no spare parts, so we won't look at those, but then I'll get straight into the size comparisons with other Warp Spiders and her Phoenix Lord brethren and other Eldar models, and then at the end I'll go through all of her rules. So this is Lhykhis right here. A very cool model. Hopefully you can see all the detail and things on her. Lovely. I think the standout part of this mini is that sort of scenic base. I love this kind of webbed jumping thing that she's kind of leaping off. She strikes like an ambush predator from the Imperium. So she vanishes into the web of the warp and obviously, you know, appears out of it. Very cool. I do like how the Eldar in particular, Warp Spiders, use their warp jump generator to kind of translocate. They don't rely on this old archaic form of transport like a combustion engine jetpack or anything like that. Or we could even go further back and look at orcs and their jump pack troops. Very cool. In terms of build, she was surprisingly easier than I expected to build. I had more issues, I say, tricky parts of build of the regular Warp Spiders compared to her. Yes, the end bit where you have to connect the web to her feet and also connect it to these weapons is a bit tricky, and you can see the join there. I haven't yet you know, cleaned that up by putting some Tamiya extra thin all there, but I will do before I spray and paint her, obviously. In terms of aesthetics, I think she's fantastic. She's got these two little short range weapons here, and these, as well as this big old sword. And you know, about that big old sword, I'm not a massive fan, truth be told. It's just something about the shape. I would have preferred it, call me boring, but to be more of a pointed shape, more speed. That's what she's all about. But you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But that's the only thing that sort of puts me off a little bit. But lovely pose, stands heads and shoulders above all the Warp Spiders and things when you're looking for her. So that's Lhykhis. No spare parts, so we'll go straight in to the old size comparisons. Let's start off with the Warp Spiders. So here is a Warp Spider Exarch, which is kind of like the leader of a group of Warp Spiders. And then here is, you know, said Warp Spider. That's where she measures up. She's going to stand out, definitely. You can't really hide her. Could she stand in for an Exarch? Not really, because of her size of her base and how big of a model she is, and also the weapons she's equipped with. They don't really, you know, fit with an Exarch's loadout. I've gone full close combat with the Exarch. Not sure whether I should have done that. With the second unit I'll get in the combat patrol, I'll most likely go for a ranged variant of the Exarch, but there you go. Then next to her Phoenix Lord brethren, I have Fugan, Azurman, so they're the new ones. I don't have Baharoth yet, but I also have, from the depths of my collection, you know, of course, it's fully painted, Morgan Ra and Jane Zar, who's another female Phoenix Lord. I think Baharoth is male. So yeah, there is that. So yeah, nice to see another female Phoenix Lord. So as you can see, size-wise, I think Baharoth will be taller than all of them because of his wings and things. But we can only find that out a bit later. At the present, I'd probably say it's close between Azurman and Fugan. Maybe Fugan's a little bit taller than that Fire Lance, but they're still all pretty tall models. They had to put Morgan Ra on this, you know, straddling these two tactical pieces, and kind of the same for Azurman. But I think this pose works better than Morgan Ra's pose for their excuse to make, you know, Phoenix Lords taller and stand out. Of course, they wouldn't really have that problem with Jane Zar, because she's a ridiculous acrobat and should be leaping off things. And Lhykhis, you know, is just jumping off of that terrain feature out of the webway, out of the Empyrean. Other comparisons with Eldar models, I do have the Avatar of Cain. That's where she measures up next to the Avatar. Not sure why I've got a wobbly Avatar, but I do. Must be the tectonic plates. And then we've got a Wraith Knight, which, as you can see, is a fair bit bigger, just a bit. I'm not sure if this helps, but compared to a standard Eldar Guardian, that's where Guardian measures up. And the final set of comparisons I always like to make is just with some Imperium models. So we do have a Primaris on the right, a Space Marine, and then Sly Marbo. She is, of course, way bigger than all of them. So if you're going against Primaris Space Marine, she's going to be bigger than all the captains and things. She might come up, she might be a little bit taller than like a Rhino tank, but the repulsors and like Land Raiders and, you know, definitely the Dreadnoughts are going to be taller than her. Okay, and this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for Lhykhis. You'll find her rules in your brand new 10th edition Eldar Codex. Well, it's actually called Codex Aeldari, which is a little bit different than the previous one, which was, I think, called Craft Worlds. And I did get that codex. So Lhykhis will cost you 120 points, meaning she's one of the most expensive Phoenix Lords. You know, Azurman is 120, so is Morgan Ra. Fugan is cheaper, Jane Zar is cheaper. Baharoth is actually the most expensive, I think, at 125 points. So what are you getting for 120 points? Well, she is one of the fastest. She's a movement speed of 12 inches. Even Jane Zar isn't that fast. Jane Zar's only a movement speed of 8 inches, and Baharoth is 14. So Baharoth with wings is only a little bit faster than Lhykhis. You're also getting the standard Phoenix Lord stat line, which is toughness 3, save of 2+, with an invulnerable save of 4+, 5 wounds, leadership 6+, and objective control 1. Lhykhis is an epic hero, and the model is equipped with Brood Twain, Spider's Fangs, and Weave Render. All nice named weapons. So, Brood Twain is a ranged weapon. It ignores cover, it's a torrent, and it's twin-linked. Kind of like a Flamer then, because it's range 12 inch. Its attacks is d6 plus 3. So that means minimum you're going to be getting 4 attacks with it. Ballistic skill is non-applicable because it is a flamer. Strength is 6, AP minus 2, damage 1. That's quite nice. It's a good strength. It's nice AP, and it automatically hits. And it is torrent and ignores cover and twin linked. Melee weapons. So Spider's Fangs. It's extra attacks, lethal hits, 5 attacks, weapon skill 2+, strength 4, AP minus 2, damage 1. Very nice. You know, got straight up 5 attacks there. Strength isn't the best, but she's guaranteed to hit, and the AP is good. Now, Weave Render, that's also lethal hits. Attacks is 5 attacks again, weapon skill 2+. Strength is 6 this time, AP minus 2, and damage 2. So that's a little bit better. Yes, it doesn't have extra attacks, but it also has that lethal hits and a better strength and better damage. This model is a leader, so this model can be attached to the following unit: Warp Spiders. Abilities has Deep Strike and Leader. Faction ability is Battle Focus, and then she's got some specific abilities for her. So one is called Empiric Ambush. While this model is leading a unit, that unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn which it used its flicker jump ability. Very nice. So she can just charge even if she does the flicker jump. Well, all of them can. Whispering Web. In your shooting phase, after this model has shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of these attacks until the end of the turn. Each time a friendly Aeldari model makes an attack that targets that unit, an unmodified hit roll of 5+ scores a critical hit. So that's pretty nice. You know, you've got an Aeldari model, makes an attack against a specific unit. Yeah, 5+ critical hit. Keywords: infantry, character, epic hero, Aeldari, jump pack, fly, aspect warrior, phoenix lord, Lhykhis, Asuryani. So that is my review of Lhykhis. Fantastic looking model. Works really well with warp spiders, even though the warp spider models are a little bit, you know, meh, except the Exarch is very good. It's just nice to have the aspect warriors finally, after decades and decades, in plastic with this Phoenix Lord. They should have had a Phoenix Lord from the start. I think Games Workshop have done an incredible job with all of the Phoenix Lords, and I hope you enjoy my review of all of them, because I'm making a special video you know, dedicated to all of them. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Of course, her usefulness may vary. If you're going for like a fast attack army with like 10 warp spiders in it, it's worth picking her up. She will really complement the warp spiders, a little bit like Fugan does with his Burning Lance ability. But what do you guys think of the model and her rules? What do you think of that sword? Is it too big? Is it a strange shape? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below. It'd be good to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor. The Avatar protects.